Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's stream where we're going to be talking about Cyber Monday SEO deals. So you're going to hate our guts because you've probably been flooded with inbox after inbox after inbox after inbox. But it is Cyber Monday, and it would be rude not to talk about some of the deals that you can still get your hands on, including the channel sponsor, Randy. The link is below. 30% off of your full cart, which Randy doesn't give up that much. So take.
I don't. I rarely do that. As a matter of fact, it's like one of the only sales that we do actually all year long. And we're doing a deal for Cyber Monday today only. So if you do your order today, and this is like a special gift bonus for Cyber Monday, for any order, you also will get a free podcast publishing service from us. So where we take, now it can be your press release, it can be any URL on your, piece of content on your site. We'll create a podcast episode with it and then broadcast it out on our News Guy podcast. And so we take the show notes, take your article, your content, we put it into our show notes with all of the links, and then bam, gets out there. And then you get all of those nice, big, juicy podcast platform links, which are very nice and fabulous for branding. Really nice. So anyway, so that's a special bonus we're doing for Cyber Monday today only, along with our 30% off.
Double bonus, people. So
double bonus, baby.
The link is below if you want to take advantage. But overall, Randy, how did Black Friday, Cyber Monday go for you? Was it really good, or do you feel it's not as good as it once was? I'm just curious. I've asked a lot of different people, and I'm just curious to get your feedback on it.
Yeah. So I mean, I love numbers, and this is for years ago. In the first half of my career, I was in retail, and so I ran a couple of different national retail companies. And so for us, it was always about numbers, always about data. And even back then, 20 years ago, like trying to keep track of data and comparing this year against last year and 2 years ago and patterns and all of that. So yeah, I've got all kinds of data in pointing. So well, I look at it in a couple of different ways, which is just from Black Friday weekend leading up to, not including Cyber Monday. So I look at that set of data and then compared to the previous year and 2 years and such. And I look at it both from financial and from number of transactions, and as well. And this is what I wanted to get into and what I thought when I sent you. I'm probably talking a lot, and you're just looking at me going like, I don't know what this guy's saying. He's like, I.
Something like that.
I know. But I look at it in a lot of different ways. And short answer, let me get short answer. And you're like going, Randy, you haven't been short yet. That's what she said.
Oh, man. You're digging yourself a hell of a hole here, Randy.
I know. Bottom line, yes, it's been good thus far. We've done better than the previous years. In all aspects, both in just pure dollars and then B in number of transactions. So
good.
No complaints. And Cyber Monday started off very well as well.
Nice. Glad to hear it, mate. Glad to hear it. But on a personal level, obviously you've got your own money to make through your own service, but what have you actually bought anything? Have you taken advantage of any other deals out there?
I have picked up. I did the Koala Rider. They had a pretty good deal going on for. I think it was 40% off, and then there were a few different dudes I didn't see you have one of these, but like a few different people, if you use their code, you got an additional 15% off. And so like it was like a full like 55% off. And so I picked up and renewed my subscription for that. I wasn't going to originally, but then when they came out with their deal, I'm like, jeez,
Oh, that
that's
seems like a solid deal.
that is a very good deal. It is a great product though too. I know you still use it too, don't
Yeah,
you? Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, and I know there's a lot of guys out there that are putting together like I just saw one as well from a guy that was at Rockstars, where you can do something and and he's got like his prompts and all of this stuff to create content, but which I'm sure is good. So nothing against them. But Koala is just so like there's two things that I really love about Koala, and not to like really rail on and applaud Koala here, but I love that it does um, take a video and then make a nice blog post from it,
Yeah,
piece of content, and it's a really good piece of content. I love that, and then I love that you can create projects, and create essentially kind of templates for a project. So, for instance, like we use for our initial stuff with clients as an example. And so we'll craft out this project for a client, um, and then exactly the way that we want the piece of content to be structured. And so we can make all of these different projects very specific or very unique. Plus, you can link in their sitemap and associate it with that project. So when you go to create this piece of content, it'll automatically pull up interlinking as well for content that's relative to what uh, you're creating now. And that is a very nice feature as well. Now we don't now it puts way too many interlinks in there, but it's a good start, I think, for doing some interlinking on a site. So yeah, I'm digging Koala. I thought Koala was good. I thought that was a good Black Friday. I did pick up a few others, so I'll let you go. What did you pick up? Anything?
I've not picked up anything, believe it or not. I refrained from doing it. The only one that really stuck out for me was Neuron Writer, um, and I just I've got Surfer, so I'm just like, is it doing something that Surfer isn't? Is it better than Surfer? And then I'm just like, nah, just I need to stop buying stuff for the sheer hell of buying it and never using it. So I think I've said in the mastermind and whatnot, it's one of my big things that I'm quite strict on with myself is not getting caught up in that whole shiny object
Mm,
syndrome. I do it all the time, and
mm, mm,
specifically have tried not to. So I haven't actually seen anything where I went, wow, I really fucking need this.
mhm.
Koala, I've already got it. Am I going to cancel it and sign up again? I just can't be asked. It's too much work. So
You didn't have to cancel, actually. Just like my subscription was ending anyway, and so because it was just because I bought it last year on Black Friday,
oh, right, fair enough.
and so it just kind of happened. Um, yeah, but I'm with you. I did buy a couple of other things, um, but that was specific because they are tools that we use. So, like Omega Indexer, he had a good. I mean, we use Omega constantly as one of our indexers, and so he had like 30% off for credits. And so that was a no-brainer. I'm like, well, if I can save 30% off on something I'm using anyway and constantly, right? So uh, uh, bought a bunch of credits off of that. Um, let's see. Also, co. See if I can pronounce it. Co-Linkry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's a excuse me, that's similar. He had a good deal with that. I think it was 30% off or something like that, or half price.
Mm.
Actually, it was 50% off. And so I jumped onto that. Um, and because it is a tool that I'm using SEO Neo a lot more. And so I want to, instead of using Omega to drive indexing for all of that stuff, I want to use Co-Linkry.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm swapping that out. And then Omega, Co-Linkry. Oh, and I also bought, I don't know, you use SEO Neo, right? As well?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had some were also like a deal where you could buy credits. And I think it was either 30% off or 50% off or something like that within SEO Neo. And so I bought a bunch of those as well.
Yeah. That's a great tool, and I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of
Yeah.
Elias and his
Yeah.
team, and what
Yeah.
they do. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I always think on the Black Friday or the Cyber Monday stuff, especially if it's tools that you are using that have, credits or something like that, and then the guys offer, discounts on credits. Well, I don't know. To me, that just makes so much sense. Like, well, sure, I'm gonna if I'm gonna continue to use the tool, I'm like, I go save a bunch on credits. If I'm gonna use it, might as well, because I know it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it's good. It's been a good. I'll say, I don't know, good. It's been good all
But
the way around.
you like shopping around and trying different shit. You're like a woman when she goes shopping. Like, sorry, I had to throw that in there. No, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you like to try shit out and all that. Like, I get very frustrated with myself when I fall into that trap. I'm just like, fuck, you done it again, you bastard. Um, because I genuinely don't get down to them. I'm very much a creature of habit, and I use like Koala Writer. So do I need to keep going and getting deals on other AI writers? No, because I'm just comfortable with what Koala does and what I use it for. So
Yeah,
I feel that I always fall into that trap, and
yeah,
which is why I've been very good this year.
yeah,
I had a peek at the old app Sumo, and there's some stuff on there where I'm like, fuck. Like I say, I seen the Neuron writer, but there's a few other things on there, and you're like, oh, geez, this could be really good. So, yeah, I've tried to, as I say, be good this year.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've only purchased one new program, and that was, and I think I'd mentioned it last week, the Content Radar. So one of these repurposing content tools.
Yeah.
Um, so I picked that up as a to kind of play around because I didn't have one of those tools where it kind of automated some repurposing
Hmm.
of content, and so it's a new piece, and I'm like, huh, this is kind of hits on the platforms that I want to repurpose on. So I did pick that one up, but beyond that, I've really been good. I've been like, hey, I haven't, I've looked at AppSumo, but I've not purchased anything. Yeah, I've been good. I'm usually a AppSumo junkie. Joe Marchek always reels me in on some kind of AppSumo something or other, and yeah.
He is the worst guy for that. As much as I love Joe, he is the worst for that. He should be an AppSumo top seller.
He must be. I mean, I don't know how he couldn't be. That guy. Oh,
But
um, He's got a great niche pulled out there. Hey, I just want to remind folks, if you have comments, throw them into the chat boxes. We'll love to take your questions or anything there. Also, if you're watching on Craig's channels, like, subscribe, follow, thumbs up, all of that fun stuff. Just get it flowing.
I've got a question. You
Yeah.
mentioned Content Radar there. Where did you buy it from? Because I can't.
That was that site. I bought it from. I've never purchased anything from this platform. It was like, what was the heck was the name of that? It was kind of like a AppSumo-esque kind of. I'm gonna have to go. Let me see if I can actually find. I gotta see if I can find it and see if it was. Where did Rocket Hub?
Rocket Hub.
Yeah, that's where I picked it up from.
Content Radar, I see it now.
Yeah.
That was something, when you mentioned it, I did take a note of that. And
Yeah.
I do actually like the look of that. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know a lot of people use, like, there's a couple of those out there, like Repurpose.io or something like that. I just thought it was a little expensive for what it's doing. And this Content Radar was, I think I got it with their Black Friday deal for like, I think $100 or $120 or something like that. I mean, it was for the year. I'm like, I'll play around with it for that. And I think Rocket Hub does have like a 60-day or something like that guarantee. I'm like, well, that's not so bad. We can do that.
Dude, the packages that are on this Content Radar are actually really good on here.
I know, right? Yeah.
Fucking hell. You can get the full big daddy package for $3.99,
Yeah.
which allows you to do 200 posts a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
Well, and then your deal is, it's either 20% off. I can't remember what their deal was. But it comes off of whatever their posted price is.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, don't look at that package deal and thinking, oh, that's the price, because that's without the discount.
Right.
So I think I picked up that Pro plan is what I have.
The Pro plan,
No, I picked up the starter plan because I didn't need that many. No. I picked up the Pro plan, yeah, because I did have multiple, so I wanted to do multiple stuff.
You're never going to like that agency plus 90 social accounts connected. I mean, that is outrageous.
I know, huge, right?
I mean, I'm never going to have 90 accounts. Done 8 social accounts, 100 posts a month. I think we just go for that one, the one that you got, because I'm not. I couldn't possibly post that amount of times. So
I was just using this for my own purpose, not from my client standpoint. So so that was enough social accounts for me for my own purposes. So I thought it was good. I was happy with it. And it's a nice interface, and what it does. I mean, as soon as I bought it, I kind of played around with it. I'm like, hey, let me check this thing out. It was good.
Yeah, no, I think that's one that I'll take, to be honest. So yeah, I like the look of that one. I had a play around with it when you mentioned it last week, and got it to. I was just playing around with the free trial version of it, and it looks as if it does some decent output, especially for LinkedIn and stuff. You know, I don't actively do that much on there.
I know that was my intent as well. I'm like, I don't do a lot on LinkedIn, and I want to, but I don't want to put a lot of work into it. So this is, I'm just going to turn one of my team, members like, all right, we'll add this into our content plan. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I had something in the past, a Tweet Hunter Pro, and
Yeah.
what that done was took
Yeah.
popular tweets
Yeah.
and then we kind of purposed them for you. But it wasn't that great, and it was actually stealing people's full tweets and not changing much. And I had got myself into a few bits of trouble
Yeah. Yeah.
by doing that. So this looks
Yeah.
decent
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, that was an interesting product, that Tweet Hunter. I've used that probably a year and a half ago. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
there we go. So here's the question for you. So here, people doing Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals, myself included, you do it as well.
Mhm.
So let me ask you this. Why do you do it?
Why did I do it? Like, you mean in terms of promoting people like yourself and all that stuff?
No. Why do you? So you had a Black Friday deal,
Oh
which
yeah,
I need to buy one actually from you, where yours was like 50% off consult call, right?
yeah,
Book an hour with you, 50% off.
yeah.
Why do you do that deal? Not just that deal, but why do you do any deal at all?
Um, I just think it's nice to get involved in it. To be honest, I was supposed to do two deals. I was actually going to give the consult call, and I was going to give a course away as well, a link building course. I actually pulled the link building course because I'm going to give it away for free mid-December. Um, I do the consult calls because there are certain people in the industry who are at the start of their journey and don't always see the value in paying X amount for a consult call. They don't realize how much value you can get in an hour. And I think from there, I want to give back to people. I don't want to ignore the small guys and people who may not have a huge amount of money. But two, the guys can see value in it, and they'll maybe book more with you. So or whatever they may go after that. So I like to give back and help people, and I just feel that some people and their pricing, it does kill the small guys' opportunities to learn from those other people. So yeah, I do it for that reason, and that reason alone. It's never going to break any world records in terms of money that you make. But I think it's always nice to put back, and you get some fresh people in that you can talk to and maybe help guide or find out what problems they've got. And I always find that interesting. Like you say, you do your calls and you you speak to different people and you find out different things, and it's enjoyable. But I think not everyone can afford to do that or don't see value in these things.
Yeah.
Anyone who does it though, they're like, fuck, I got a lot from that. In an hour you can show someone a lot of shit. So yeah, just try to do that, and just again keeps yourself out there. I feel if I didn't do it, I would be missing out. I'd be missing out on something. You're just like, fuck, everyone else has got something, so you're just like, well, what can I put out? But I pulled the course. I just feel I'll get more giving it away for free, more exposure, more volume, more everything else. And I'll tell you something. I done a course last Black Friday, Randy, and then it came to round about July or August this year, and quite a lot of that course had changed because, like we know, it's an ever-changing industry. What 6 months ago doesn't necessarily work just now. So what I was doing is I put up a couple of videos from that course on my YouTube, and people were messaging me, "Oh, you fucking bastard! We fucking paid you. We paid you $79 in Black Friday, and you're
Oh
giving all this
no.
away." And you're like, dude, it's my fucking course. Like, if I want to give it away, that's what I'm going to do. Like, I'm not giving it away the next week or something like that, but I'm
Right.
putting some stuff out there. And it wasn't the full course I gave away. I put out some videos from it, and I thought, do you know what? I don't want the money for your course. I am going to distribute it and get volume and get emails, and I'm going to get brand awareness and everything else that comes from that. I'll give it away on other platforms as well, like Udemy and stuff like that, because again, the exposure that you get from being on there, it's worth a lot more to me than a couple of grand worth of course sales. So so I decided to pull the plug. I actually only pulled the plug in that on Friday morning. I'm just like, nah, fuck that. It's just not worth it. So so yeah, I also have considered pulling the consult calls as well. I was just like, I get them anyway. I do a lot of consultancy calls, so do I need to have the price? Does it devalue what you do? Does it not? But then I thought, nah, there are guys who buy some of these throughout. I've had people that buy like 6 of them, and they'll use them throughout the year. And I'm not going to name names, but there's people that that are in the mastermind who regularly do these calls, and I get to see them growing, and I know that person is making money and they're developing and they action what's being said. So it's, again, you see that and you get a good sense of reward. So a bit of sense of reward as well by helping nurture people along as well. I like to see that.
Yeah. That's good. I love that. I love that about you. I don't care what other people say. I think you're a good guy. But
I was waiting that one.
Yeah. So here's the question, and you kind of alluded to, because I've seen a couple of posts out on social media about this, and I thought it was an interesting topic, and certainly at least some conversation about it. And I would love. That's why I wanted to get your input and as well hear from other folks about this, which is, there's the one side, obviously. Excuse me, you're creating an offer, you're trying to generate business and sales and doing all of that stuff.
Yeah.
There's, and for different reasons. I think, for yours, it was like, hey, I want to be able to let folks, who maybe don't, or just starting out, still have opportunity to kind of spend time and get a deal, some value, and help them. And I think that's fabulous. The other side of this coin, though, is what I had seen a couple of posts around, which is this idea about devalue, right? So when you do a sale, and especially, like if you're doing some kind of a Black Friday sale or something, are you devaluing your service or product by doing that? And then hence as well, what message are you saying to your existing clients by saying, hey, you've bought from me in the past, or you have bought, and now I'm saying you can get X% off. What is that a devaluing message to those clients or not?
It's I don't know why people have got such a big opinion on it, in all honesty. Like, Christmas has been around for many years, and everyone knows you're getting Christmas sale and all that stuff. Sales to generate revenue and all that kind of stuff. And just the time of year, I think it's natural to do that. And if you don't join in, you lose out. So is it? I can understand the argument. Is it fair for everyone else who paid full price, and then you're giving it in a Black Friday at 30% off? But that's just, these people can also take advantage of that and pile in and grab what they want and do everything else. So I don't really kind of understand why people would be too pissed off with it. I buy trainers, multiple times a year. Do I know that these go on sale in the Christmas sale? Potentially, absolutely. And I may buy another pair at a discounted rate, and that's just it. That's life. And people get too hung up on what people should or shouldn't be doing. We've got businesses to run. We need cash flow. And if your way of grabbing a whole big chunk of cash and getting the brand awareness, getting people to try your service where they might be like, it's a bit pricey at that price, but if he's giving 30% off, I'll give it a bash, and hopefully you get the lifetime value of the customer. It's a one-off deal to get people in the door, show them what you're all about, how quick and professional your process is. It's a marketing strategy, and for people to moan about people doing that and not really thinking about the long-term or the lifetime value of the customer, it's mad. It's mad. Doing a one-off doesn't mean you need to do it every year.
Yeah.
So I see it, and I also seen people commenting things like, "Oh, all the course sellers are going to be coming out selling their shit courses for $5. Don't buy. No, you're going to get a load of old horse shit there, and come to me because I'm not selling a fucking course." Like, utilizing that as if it's a flex that they're not doing a course. Like, in hell. So people have got their own ways to do things, and if it works for them, happy days. But I think, for me, you've got to just think positively. Black Friday's been a thing for a long time, and I'm not a fan of people who inflate the price of something and then say they've got 50% off. Like people like yourself who actually the prices have been that price all year round and you're actually giving 30% off. Fair play to you. There's not a lot of margin left for you to make much profit on it. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? It's brand awareness. It's everything that it should be, and hoping that the person buys 10 of these throughout the year. That's what it should be, But I get it, from someone who maybe does a course and said it was $5,000, you can now get it for 1. You're like, was it ever 5? You fucking, I don't like that stuff. So I kind of get it, but there's a lot of good deals out there where you're like, nah, that person has literally sold that for that price for many years, and you are getting a real discount. So that's that's what I think there's value in, and there is deals to be had. But there is, where anything's out there, where there's good stuff, there's always going to be bad stuff or scammers, or people, peddling muck. So you've just got to tread carefully.
Yeah. That's why. Well, and that's why I asked you, like, why do you do a Black Friday deal? For me, as you mentioned, I mean, I've kept our prices on our product. I don't even know the last, at least a couple of years, if not longer. I've just have always found ways, even though our prices, my expenses has gone up on that, but I've looked to other ways to try to maintain kind of our internal expenses as a way so I wouldn't have to increase our prices. But I do it for a couple of different reasons, because at the end of the day, my margins are so thin to begin with that I'm virtually losing money on these things. But one is market share. I look at it, and I was just having a conversation with somebody about this on Friday, actually. And this was great because a mutual friend of ours reached out to me and said, like, hey, I want to promote your deal. Do you want me not to do my affiliate link while you're doing, put this out? I'm like, dude, thank you for asking me. I understand. And if you want, I'm not going to tell you not to. But yeah, my margins are so, I'm definitely would be losing money by you throwing out your affiliate link. But so I'm not even exactly sure what he ended up doing, but I did appreciate him asking. But in that conversation with him, I was saying, like, hey, for me, the Black Friday deal or an offer or something out there really is about growing reach, growing market share. So and that's one of the metrics that I measure, as well as how many new customers, new clients did we pick up in that sale? Because that, for me, that's what I'm buying. I'm trying to buy new clients,
Yeah.
because I know I have a very good track record and very good target on this, is that I know if I get somebody new into our system, use our service, I can hold on to them. And they've got a real value to me in the life cycle or of a client, right? So I know that I can, uh, maintain that relationship and do ongoing business with them. So for me, growing the market share, growing the client base is a high value to me. So as an example, so you're asking me like, inputs on, well, how's Black Friday been thus far? So if I look at Black Friday through Cyber, not including today, but just kind of the 4 days or so of the Black Friday so far, like we've grown our new client acquisition 85% above last year's same period. And for me, it was like, yes, that I took that as a huge win. It didn't even matter what we did dollar wise. I'm like, yes, we grew, year over year, new clients 85% during that same time frame, and that is important to me.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, so that's why we do, and I look at it the other way though, and I kind of do this when I put out our email, is to say, "Hey, I do this sale also as a means of saying thank you to existing clients. Like, listen, I don't do sales, and we're doing this as a means of saying, hey, thanks for doing business with us. So, jump in and grab what you want, and do it. And you can use it anytime through 25. Um, so I try to take the more of the gratitude, like, hey, thanks for working with us. And here's an opportunity for you to save. Uh, but
I think you're thinking about it wisely, though. You're thinking of the bigger picture, the lifetime value of the customer and growth
yeah,
opportunity, brand awareness, everything else that comes with
yeah,
it. And I think if you're utilizing Black Friday for that, then you probably are doing it for the
yeah,
the right reasons.
yeah. The
Whereas,
other thing though too is because I had a couple of conversations with some people over the I don't know, over the last few months even, where they were like, uh, they had done business with us before, and I hadn't seen any orders from them for several months. And I saw them at a couple of these conferences that I was at. I'm like, hey man, I would love to, is there something I can do to like win your business back kind of thing? And they were like, oh, we love your we love your service. There's nothing to do. But there was a guy that had a big sale or whatever that and that I don't want to mention them, but they do it by credits, and he was doing some kind of like half off on credits or whatever to buy, and so they had bought a bunch from them. I'm like, huh, well, that kind of sucks. But it is also that mindset. If all your competition is doing Black Friday or Cyber Monday deals, and you're not, I truly believe you will lose market share,
yeah,
because now you could say like, wow, but if your service is all that great and people, and it's really that much better than anybody else's, I'm like, which I believe ours is,
hmm
but at the end of the day, people want to save money, and I get it. Right? If somebody could go somewhere and save 50% or 30% or whatever, um, that's money. Everybody operates a budget, and especially agencies.
yeah,
Like, hey, it's a way we could boost, and we're going to get good links. So, I just think, if your competitors are doing it and you're not, I think you'll lose market share. They may come back to you after whatever their deal that they got is over, but I think it will hurt you long term, big picture.
yeah. No, I think you're right. If your competition are doing it, and you're not, then you may want to rethink what you're doing there. So,
Yeah.
you know, you've got to follow suit, and you can't just rest in your laurels and say mine's is the best. I'm fucking this and that. That's when you start to lose. So I think for what it's worth, mate,
Yeah.
you're doing the right thing. And I was going to say, when you say I'm actually losing money on this, I had a friend once, and well, I still got that friend, and he was selling what he was selling. I'm not going to say it is because it will give the person away, maybe. So he was selling his thing, and someone was asking him about it, and he's like, "Dude, I'm actually losing money on this stuff." And the person's like, "Really?" And the person ended up swallowing it, and they bought more of it. And I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I pulled them to the side, and I'm like, "Mate, I know that's your most profitable fucking service there, you lying bastard. I'm losing money on this." But when you said I am practically losing money in this, I'm like, oh man. Not that I think you are working a tight margin, but it just reminded me of that story where it was the
Yeah.
person's most profitable service. And they're like, I'm losing money giving these away at these prices. And you're like, fuck, that is just sales waffle. But as I say, there are people like you who are working on a margin, who
Yeah.
are charging that full price. And as I say, respect to anyone who does that for those reasons, give up profit to grow market share. I think that's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
clever way of doing it.
Well, I think I mean, essentially, I look at it as being, a marketing expense, right?
Mhm.
So, instead of buying ads or doing more sponsorships or doing whatever, I'm like, I'm gonna take this margin hit, and I'm just counting that as marketing. So if I can acquire 100 new clients, or that's huge value to me,
Yeah.
right? Because I know the value of the lifetime value of a client is for us. So I'm like, I'd do that exchange all day long if I could. Yeah. So it is different ways of understanding and thinking about your business, in that it's not just this week, or these next 10 days or whatever it is in front of you, and regardless whether it's Black Friday or whatever time period of the year, you really have got to think, what is a long-term strategy to build your business, and how will you do that? And yes, you can continue to sell more and more and more to, like, a small number of people that just love you, your fan base, so to speak.
Hmm.
But, for any business to go to scale, you got to, like, bring in new clients. You've got to continue to build new clients. And so you just always got to think about it from that strategy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I 100% agree. And as I say, mate, I genuinely think you're doing good stuff on that. I think you've worked well over the years to grow your brand in a number of different ways.
Yeah.
And I think that's what most people should be doing, just trying to grow, get new people from wherever, whatever means possible. And um, I would consider that to be a real business person. So fair play that it's working, and fair play for 85% more than last year. So
Yeah.
it's not a
More
bad
clients, more
more.
clients,
Yeah.
new clients, I should say.
Um,
Um, Hey, I have a question for you. What is your thought? So, I think last week we talked about emails, like what's the velocity of emails to do during kind of this Black Friday, Cyber Monday kind of thing. So we kind of hammered that out a little bit. What do you think about on social posts? So you've got these deals going on. What kind of a velocity do you think you need to do or should do on social posts of a deal?
I mean, there's two sides to this. I hate seeing people saying the same thing time and time again. That's why I'm not keen on over emailing people. However, on a social media feed, your shit is gone very, very quickly. It's
I
buried.
know.
So is there that argument that you have to be more frequent on social media? Absolutely, because how long are you in someone's Twitter feed for? How long are you in someone's Facebook feed for? It's not very long. So there is an argument to be had to do that more actively. And you look at some of the tools that are out there, repurpose.io and everything. There's been tools for many years saying, your social media, what you promote in social media maybe gets seen by 5% of the people or 10% that's on your social media.
Mhm.
Is there anything wrong with posting, more? Probably not. I just always have that thing like, do people want to see my fucking ugly face saying the same thing 3 and 4 times in the one day on their feed? No, they don't. Absolutely not. And I always kind of tread the edge of caution on that. I try and not be too spammy and repetitive. So I kind of treat social media very much like emails, where obviously if it's Black Friday, of course I'm going to put something out, maybe
Right,
once or
right.
twice throughout the day. But I'm just not comfortable with overdoing it on social media. But I probably would accept that I am in the wrong for that. I do believe that you're very quickly gone from a social feed, which is why I would also argue that if you are going to do social media, do paid ads on it. You don't have to keep
Mm.
posting organically the same shit. If you've got a deal, then of course, fucking have it there, and you'll get more cracks at the opportunity rather than posting. So I would probably go down the route of doing paid. Well, I did go down the route of
Mhm,
doing paid
mhm.
ads rather than posting, because as I say, I hate it when other people do it to me, and you see the same bastard come in, you're like, mate, how many times do you need to say that? Like in a one day? Like, are you desperate for fucking sales? Or, it comes across as a bit desperate. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. But yeah, I would just do an ad rather than harass the life out of people in the feed, because if someone then lands in my profile and my last 3 posts are buy this, buy that, you just look like a
Yeah,
douchebag. So it's trying not to look like a
yeah,
douchebag is
yeah.
the goal here.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I'm similar to you in that I'm always being very much more cautious about being spammy. Like I don't know why, I just really like, oh, I don't want to be thought of as being spammy, and it just really is like my pet peeve, and so that's why other people have told me like, oh, you should be sending out emails like, multiple times a week to your list. And I'm like, that just seems a lot. I don't know. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. That's just not me. And I don't feel comfortable in it. Like I just send one email a week, and that seems like that's good. And I like that. And then the same, so on this social media with the sales stuff going right now, so my approach has been, um I think we've done, the direction I gave my team is like, let's do 2 posts a day about the sale, spread them out, and then but let's continue to do our normal content posts that we
Mhm.
do. So kind of to your point, if somebody comes onto your timeline, they see like, 3 sale things in a row. I didn't want that either. And so like you may see like a sales post and then a content post and then another sales post. So kind of that, we're still doing our content or value content posting just as we would normally. And because I didn't want to just be only that spammy, hey, here's the sale kind of, I don't know. So that was my approach. But
It's what I will say, is I sent out 3 emails on Friday to my mailing list. I have never had so many unsubscribers in all my life. And I've seen people on Twitter and stuff saying, this is the day where I clean up my inbox. So all of them unsubscribe, all of them unsubscribe. A lot of people are now seeing it as a fucking spam fest. I also believe, Randy, that the emails that I was sending out on Friday didn't land in everyone's inboxes that they should have. And I think it's because of the word Black Friday or Black Friday deals. I believe that the email providers are pushing that stuff into spam.
And spam.
Because of the sheer fucking volume that's going out. So I actually got a lot of unsubscribes, and I've had people in the mastermind saying, Craig, I didn't see this, I didn't see that. With the consult calls, because there's a few in there who normally buy them, and they're like, I didn't see shit. And I'm like, and then I've done some research, and even the likes of Shopify, within the Shopify stores that people have, that whole email system was broken on Friday for a lot of users. And a lot of other people are saying email deliverability on Black Friday was hard. It didn't land everywhere it went to land. And obviously you can imagine, I don't know how many hundreds of millions of emails would go out on a day like that, but
can you imagine? I would billions probably.
Well, I was sitting on Friday with Ryan Durrani, and he's like, dude, I'm going to have to fucking turn my phone off. He says these notifications that are coming through on his email are fucking insane. You've got a ping, 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 and you're like, fuck. So I get it, absolutely get it. As to why this might not work, I fully understand that I lost about 1,000 email subscribers over the course of that day, and I understand why. So that kind of shows me that the way that I've suggested that I think is probably very valid. Just don't piss people off. So it is what it is, and I just think Black Friday has become a very, very spammy market, and I'm actually going to send people out my deal probably middle of the week and just say, guys, it's past Black Friday. I didn't want to bombard you. You've got a chance. Here it is, and hopefully, you get some uptake on that, because it is hellish. My email, I was doing the same thing, going through it, bang, 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 delete. So, I'm not fully comfortable with spamming the life out of people.
I think, interesting. Well, hey, first off, I don't know that I must not even be on your email list, because I've not gotten anything from you. Email.
You must be.
I would think that I would be, but I only send out one a day. So like on Black Friday, I did not send out multiple emails that day. I just sent out one. So I sent out an email on Wednesday. That's when we started our kind of discount or our sale. And then another one on Friday, on Black Friday. And between those two emails, I think I had 3 total unsubscribes. I mean, it was like barely anything. Sent out our email this morning for Cyber Monday to announce our Cyber Monday deal and the added bonus. I had 8 unsubscribes for that email. I'm like, wow, that was crazy. So anyway, but I think there probably is a sweet spot, right, where it's enough to like keep it rolling and keep the contents and contacts fresh, but too much can be too much, and you're going to lose people as well.
But your email is in there, Randy.
It is. Well, I don't know. You tell me. I don't recall seeing a email from you.
I think
I may have done one of those that probably hit my spam, and I probably just mass deleted everything that hit my spam without even looking at it. So
I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you. But
Yeah,
yeah, it is what it is.
yeah,
And I think mines did land in spam for a lot of people, which is
yeah,
unfortunate. But
yeah,
what can you do?
yeah. I think it's very interesting and is absolutely worthwhile people spending time and dissecting and asking the questions. Why do we do what we do? Do we, is it impactful? Compared numbers, people aren't keeping good records, good data from year to year to year, because that's the only way that you can make good decisions on, what we did this year. Was it better than what we did last year? Was it more impactful, less impactful? Did we alienate more people? I mean, you have to really look at your business strategically. And I don't care whether you're a freelancer or an SEO agency, you just really have got to dig in to the numbers to understand, to provide direction on your marketing, I think,
Yeah,
in order to do it. Because everybody is always like, I want to grow. I want more clients or new clients. And so you've got to look at those, at that data, at that historical data, so you can make good, educated, informed decisions, to understand.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. But it's been fun. I always enjoy it. We're right now in the midst of my favorite time of the year. Like, I love the week of Thanksgiving all the way through like that first week of January. I love it. It is like holiday. It's all festive. It's just always so busy with events and activities. I dig it. I've got like two like personal kinds of holiday events I'm going to this week. I'm like, I dig that. I love going out and being festive. It's fun.
Yeah, nah, it's definitely a good time of year, especially as I've got a 5-year-old. So it makes
Oh
it even
gosh,
more
yeah,
fun that you see
yeah,
him enjoy that. You're obviously past that, and your
yeah,
kids are slightly older, but certainly for a 5-year-old, it's nice to see um, the facial expressions and excitement and everything in the lead up to
oh
Christmas.
yeah,
So
yeah. Do you guys do the Elf on the Shelf? I
she,
love
she
that.
swore. So the wife swore after last year. She's like, "I'm not fucking doing that again. That is a fuck ton of work." And obviously, yesterday was the first, and she went, and Charlie woke up and
Oh yeah,
whatever he done, whatever the elf in the shelf done, he done. I can't remember what it was, but and I'm like, and I said to her, it was actually today. I said to her, I'm like, I thought you were stopping that shit, and she's like, I was wanting to, but he kept asking if he was coming back.
they love it, especially at that age. They love it. I will tell you, my youngest is 17. And this is the first year that we are not doing Elf on the
Oh,
Shelf.
geez. You stretched that out a bit far. That is
No,
that
it's because my daughter was like, last year, she's like, well, yeah, we're doing Elf on the Shelf, aren't we? I'm like, oh
jeez.
my gosh.
Mm.
But yeah, but I will tell you, there's just around this concept is like, I came across, I was cleaning out some stuff earlier this summer, and I came across a note that my daughter had written probably, I don't know, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, that she had written to the elf.
Oh, geez.
Like one of these great little, hey, Alvin, I hope you had a great year. Looking forward to seeing you, that kind of thing. It was so cute. And I just pulled it and kept it, right? I'm like, I got to pull this. Like the guy took it, so I couldn't just leave it. Um, and I put it away, and I came across, I'm like, oh, that was so great. That's such a great, charming, lovely thing. Nice memory. I didn't show it to her. I showed my wife, like, oh, remember when she did this? Wasn't that fun? But it's a good holiday season, just so wonderful with young kids. I love it.
Nah, it's good. The Christmas lights and the atmosphere. Certainly in Scotland, you know, it's dark, it's cold. It plays into the whole thing. So
sounds like Cleveland, dark and cold, and we got. It's like was 10 degrees when I walked out this morning. We got like 2-3 inches of snow last night. Yeah, I mean it is all of that dark, cold winter. It is
yeah,
winter.
we had snow last week, but it's disappeared again. So touch wood, it doesn't come back until closer to Christmas. But you never know. You never know.
There we go. There we go, brother. Hey, always good spending time with you, man.
Likewise, guys, before we do finish, do check Randy's link below if you want to grab that 30% off. Like he said, he doesn't give deals at any other time.
And don't forget, today only, we're giving away a special bonus with any purchase today. So go jump it if you want it.
Yeah, go grab it, guys. And we will be back at the same time next week. And if you're watching this later on, give us a comment and let us know what you got for Cyber Monday.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Cheers, everyone.